I'm Michael McCann and I'm joined here by the effervescent Chris Kamara. 11 PM window shut and still bright as a raisin.
Fizz, is that effervescent? That's Andrews, isn't it? Something you take for the dodgy stomach.
What did you make of that transfer window? You were hinting upstairs maybe a little disappointing.
Yeah, it's never been fantastic over the last few years, and tonight once again it wasn't totally fulfilling, but compelling viewing, you'd have to say.
Do you think sometimes, dare I say it, we were almost guilty in the media of overhyping it a bit?
It's what your expectation is wanting to be, you know. Are you wanting Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool, all the top clubs, you know, to sign players on the last minute? Just doesn't happen anymore, you know.
And you were talking about referring upstairs to you can't see an incident like Odin Wingy happening again with someone driving to a club and not getting the move. Why not?
No, because that's iconic. It's one-off. You know, Berbatov up those stairs when nobody knew about it, from Spurs to Manchester United. You know, Odin Wingy in the car park. It would just never ever happen. You know, you didn't believe it was happening at the time with the Odin Wingy thing. So to think that something like that could ever happen again, it wouldn't. You know, so you have to remember those days and hope for something different this time around. But everybody's too cautious now. The world has changed, you know, in terms of people's expectancy and what is acceptable.
And looking back on your playing days where there wasn't this craziness over the transfer window, what do you think has brought about that change in the games?
Well, survival in the Premiership has become the one, because as far as the Championship managers are concerned, League 1 and League 2, the window actually does still open again, you know, in terms of being able to get players on loan or whatever. So this isn't the be-all and end-all as far as Championship, League 1 and League 2 clubs are concerned. But as far as Premiership clubs are concerned, this is it. This is what you've got. And as a manager, you don't have to be judged on what you've brought in, what you're allowed to bring in, were the club prepared to give you money to bring players in, or were you quite happy to stay with what you've got? And if you can answer all of those questions at the end of the day after you've been sacked, and quite rightly say it was my decision,
it would be a football manager.
Yeah, it would be a football manager, and then fair enough. But I can tell you now that there probably isn't one manager who could say, hand on heart, that the club allowed me to do what I wanted to do on the transfer window.
And is it constrictions and the pressures that you just referred to that are some of the reasons why you yourself never delved into management?
Well, I think my history goes without explaining. I was manager of Bradford. I did all right as it happens. I did Stoke City managing, and I didn't do too well, I've got to be honest. The worst probably 12 weeks of my life not being able to help Stoke City out of relegation. So it was a good time, but I've got such a good life now, I can't complain, and I won't complain. My life just gets better from the day I moved into TV. It's onwards and upwards.
And you embrace the sort of cult that almost comes with your name these days. When that first came about, was that something that was initially a bit hard to fathom?
No, not really at all, because I worked hard at doing what I was doing, and it's just, you know, what you have to understand is people are really nice. People are really, really nice. Football is a protected species, and when people find out what's behind the footballer, what's behind the person, and they see the real person, and so a lot of people just saw me as this player who gave everything for his football club, got stuck in, was really, really, really hard, and then they saw the real identity, the real Chris Kamara, and you know, I've been doing it for a long time now, and they realise that it's not put on. I am what I am, and I was this way as a player. I may have, as soon as I put the shirt on, wanted to win as much as I possibly could for that football club, but the individual person was still the same as I am today, and I do appreciate that everyone appreciates me as being that person.
Thank you. So I didn't mean to do that.
And as is customary when interviewing Chris Kamara,
what do you think of how Everton are doing this season? Do you think it's justified where we are in the league or not?
let's get you a towel. Just gonna say thank you very much for your time, Chris.
Thank you very much indeed.